What's the most life-changing thing you found out too late? I was 22 when my grandmother died. We were close. I'd spent every summer at her house growing up. After the funeral, my mom handed me a small wooden box. "Grandma wanted you to have this," she said quietly. Inside was a silver locket, some old photos, and a handwritten letter. I didn't read it until I got home that night. It started with normal grandma stuff, how proud she was of me, memories we shared, but then took a turn. "There's something I've kept from you that I can no longer take to my grave." The letter explained that my dad, the man who raised me, wasn't my biological father. My mom had been briefly separated from him before they married, and during that time, she'd had a relationship with someone else. When she discovered she was pregnant, she and my dad reconciled, and he agreed to raise me as his own. My hands were shaking. I called my mom immediately. When I asked if it was true, the line went silent. Then I heard her crying. "We were going to tell you someday," she whispered. "We just never found the right time." She confirmed everything in the letter. My biological father's name was Daniel. He'd been a graduate student my mom met while working at the university library. They dated for 3 months before she got back together with my dad. Daniel never knew she was pregnant. "Your dad, the man who raised you, he loved you from the moment you were born," my mom said. "We agreed it would be simpler this way." I was stunned, angry, confused. The man in all my childhood photos, who taught me to ride a bike and helped with my homework. He wasn't my biological father, yet he'd chosen to be my dad anyway. I confronted him the next day. He didn't deny anything. "I've never thought of you as anything but my daughter," he said, his voice breaking. "Biology doesn't make a father." Part of me understood, but another part felt betrayed. My entire identity felt like a lie, and I couldn't stop wondering about this man Daniel. Half of my DNA was from someone I'd never met. My grandmother's letter included one more detail: Daniel's full name and the university where he'd studied. Against my parents' wishes, I started searching for him online. It took weeks, but I finally found him, a professor at a college 3 hours away. I drove there on a Friday, with no plan beyond seeing him. I sat in on his afternoon lecture, watching this stranger whose features I was searching for in my own face. He had my eyes, my hands, the same way of tilting his head when thinking. After class, I approached him. "Excuse me, professor. My name is Emma," I said, my heart pounding. I think you knew my mother, Jennifer Miller, about 23 years ago." He stared at me for a long moment. "You look just like her," he finally said. We went to a coffee shop and talked for hours. He'd never married, had focused on his career instead. He had no other children. "If I had known," he kept saying, shaking his head. Over the next few months, we met regularly. It was awkward at first. We were strangers, connected by blood, but slowly, we built a relationship. He was different from my dad in many ways, more academic, more reserved, but I could see myself in him too. The hardest part was navigating my relationship with my dad, the man who raised me. He was hurt, afraid I would replace him. "I'm still your dad," he said one night, his voice small. "That doesn't change." "I know," I told him. "You'll always be my dad." 6 months after finding Daniel, I suggested a meeting between all of us. It was tense, uncomfortable, but necessary. My two fathers sizing each other up across my mom's dining room table, decades of unspoken history between them. "Thank you for raising her," Daniel said to my dad. "You did an amazing job." My dad nodded stiffly. "She made it easy. It's been 2 years now. We found a strange new normal. Daniel is part of my life, not replacing my dad, but adding something new. I have dinner with him monthly. He came to my graduate school graduation. He's getting to know me as an adult." The most life-changing thing I found out too late wasn't just that my biological father was someone else. It was learning that family is more complicated than I ever imagined, that it can expand in unexpected ways, that love and biology don't always align, and that the truth, however difficult, is better than a lifetime of secrets. My mom still struggles with guilt. My dad still has moments of insecurity, and sometimes I still feel angry about the years of deception. But I've gained something too, a fuller understanding of my identity, and the knowledge that I was loved enough by one man to be claimed as his own, even when he had no obligation. Every time I look in the mirror now, I see pieces of both my fathers, and I'm learning that having two people who consider themselves my dad isn't a loss or a confusion. It's just a different kind of family story.